You're de-risking these releases. So what that means is basically like no longer having to worry about like, oh, hey, we have an outage and something goes wrong with the site, and then we're going to have to roll back a release and then push out a new deploy and things like that would cost the company a ton of money. My name is Brian Rinaldi. I'm a developer experience engineer at LaunchDarkly. So for a junior developer, I think it starts at like you're only first getting introduced to the complexity of releasing things, especially when you're releasing things as a team at a company, and the problems that you could face when that happens. So feature flags allow you to control how you release things, so you have the ability to have things in the code that may be sitting in production but aren't actually running yet because they're flagged. To senior developer, that's where I think you start to introduce more complex topics, because it's not just on or off for everybody. You say, okay, well, maybe I want to be able to release this only to internal teams. And then, okay, now that we've tested with internal teams, I want to release it to our beta users. And then I want to actually start, maybe slowly releasing it to, general public, like 10%, 20%, just to make sure that feature's working well. So you get into much more advanced release practices than I'd talk about it to a junior developer, as well as even adding in things like experimentation, so like we can make sure not just that that the feature is released or not, is this the right feature? Should this feature be the one we're focused on? For a CTO, I'd be talking about the fact that, you're de-risking these releases. So what that means is basically like no longer having to worry about like, oh, hey, we have an outage and, something goes wrong with the site, and then we're going to have to roll back a release and then push out a new deploy and things like that would cost the company a ton of money. This is like, okay, immediately something goes wrong, you flip that switch and that turns off. Or even you can have things monitoring saying like, hey, if your monitoring system sees like a problem, it can automatically shut off certain features that are known to be problematic. So like at that point, it's all about, there's no more worry about, oh, hey, we're going to be down because a new feature, caused a problem that's going to completely blow up our system, and then we have to roll everything back and lose all that money. So a CTO is more focused on that, I think. You can find me at remotesynthesis.com, or I'm pretty much remote synth everywhere except Twitter. So yeah, but everywhere but Twitter.
Thank you for watching our video. If you want to learn more about Engineer Explains, click on one of these.